NASCAR Cup Series hits high gear in Atlanta. 2 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Fox. Jamie McMurray has gone to the top of the board. So we have a new Fast Five. And we're listening on Dale Jr. and team.
I think it's going to form just like it used to back in the day. Maybe a little bit better high side 3 and 4 so far. But it used to be up top 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4. Yeah, I think with the less splitter and spoiler, we're definitely going to use the top a little better. Yeah, it seems to be a little more competitive lap time than what it used to be in 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think with less downforce and grip, we see the movement getting into the corners. Check out that's going to be a product of this aerodynamic package. But I definitely think we're going to see multiple grooves in that top groove really playing out. I just say you got to be a little bit careful looking at the stopwatch right now, because what happens, a lot of cars run the bottom, a lot of rubber down there, loses a little bit of grip, and then when you go up top, as you see Dale Earnhardt Jr. making a run to pit road as he go through the downforce. But I think up top, it's fresh up there. There's not as much rubber. You're going to have a little bit more grip and a little bit more speed right now at this portion of the day in practice.
I like what TJ Majors was saying. He was clocking times through 3 and 4, and he got the idea of what everybody's doing there, and he 1 and 2, and then they can break it down and decide where they want to run.
Dale Jr. was second here last year. Larry.
Yeah, Mike, I'm here with Clint Boyer. Clint, we were in Daytona Speed Weeks, your first time in the 14 car. You got a week and a half down there. You kind of got what you've got. But now this is where the test starts. You have very little time to get this car dialed in.
Yeah, that's right. And little, practice time all weekend long. But, I'm really impressed with Mike. And you got to be prepared. When you have, when you're up against those time restraints like that for a race weekend, you got to be prepared. He and his boys are really prepared. The car's pretty fast right off the bat. I mean, it's it's a fun racetrack. You're slipping, sliding around. The car's got a lot of grip, and for me, trying to get acclimated in a new team, new communication, and everything's new. I felt really confident that our speed was pretty respectable, and I think we can make some gains for tomorrow as well.
You see this little bitty rear spoiler, Clint. Obviously, that's not going to be your best friend when you get laps on the tires. These things that look like they're going to be fast in qualifying trim with the low drag on the rear spoiler.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, that's just the strength in the teams. They keep taking downforce away, and we keep going faster. kind of going the opposite trend of what we were thinking or wanting. But I think when you get out there, especially on this wore-out surface like this, I think it's going to put on a hell of a show for the fans, and that's really what we're after.
Well, Mike, we may have changed racetracks, but one thing that's not changed, the grin on this man's face.
That's for sure.
Yeah, he's been a happy boy.
Here's his teammate, Kevin Harvick.
Let's see where he goes.
Well, we know where he's going to go.
Where do you think
he'll go down the bottom.
Where do you think he'll go, Jeff?
Yeah, right down to the yellow line. And watch how he holds his hands. Now, he slipped up off the yellow line, so he didn't quite get there, and you can see how he loses a little grip up off the corner. His goal right there was to be right on that yellow line. So now, what he's doing, he's not only practicing trying to get the setup of the car just right, as we see. Now he gets down the yellow line, turns 3 and 4. But watch those hands. Now he follows that line. The throttle matches the steering wheel and his inputs, and he's doing everything he can just to keep it right there. Now let's see if he can get down there and keep it down there here 1 and 2.
Little bumpy, little loose get in. You saw him fight the car loose, and that's messing up that whole turn.
But now you can see, now it's not always pretty watching the steering wheel, to get to the bottom, but you saw he adjusted his entry speed to make sure he made it there and stayed on that yellow line.
3 and 4 was always a little easier. 1 and 2 a little tougher.
Now here's Brad Keselowski.
Look at those. I mean,
see, look how far he crossed that yellow line. He actually had sparks coming off the left front splitter because he actually was on the apron of the racetrack.
How would you like to do that for 500 miles? Oh, that's right, you have.
I'm pretty happy to be up there.
I guess so. Today, particularly.
Now, some of these drivers, too, you'll see different size steering wheel. We don't know what their steering box, but there's different ratios of steering box. Some might want a fast one, feel like that maybe gives them a little bit more front grip. But when you're trying to make a precise line like this, you're going to see a lot more hand movement with a smaller wheel and a faster steering box.
And that's just reaction, Mike. I mean, all that is those hand movements. That car is moving around. The back of the car is moving around, and he's reacting to it on the steering wheel. turn, loose, turn, loose.
I'll tell you what I liked about that is he didn't quite get to the yellow line, but in the center of the corner, the front end cut and actually got to the yellow line. That's a good sign of what kind of front grip that he has. Matt?
Well, it's always great when you can catch up with the most recent Daytona 500 champion, and it's a big win, not only for the driver, but for everyone involved, including Todd Cable, the transporter driver. He gets to put new decals on the hauler. But for you, the past 6 days, 5 days, what's been really your most special moment?
It's hard to pinpoint one special moment, but I only saw a couple of videos Sunday night, and it was Fox's replay of the final lap, and it was of Tony Gibson celebrating on the pit box, and now it's turned viral. The emotions of him and all of these crew members, that's the best part, because it makes you quickly reflect on all the hard work it took to switch all these cars over to Fords during the off-season. And the text, I'm still axle deep in all my texts. I can't get caught up, but thanks to Doug Yates and his engines, you feel more confident going to Daytona with him under the hood. And I mean, the most special moment, just sharing it with the in-laws, my wife, Ashley, my bride, it just feels like a fairy tale. The Daytona 500 truly can change a lot of things.
Now, your wife at the racetrack, as far as the race team goes, Tony Gibson. Now, you guys had the special celebration in Victory Lane, but now you're finally Thursday night back at the racetrack together. Did you guys get together and kind of talk back about some of the images that stood out in your mind?
Yeah, it was important for us to really just get together and rehash it again. And last night we just went to a local steakhouse here in Atlanta, had 20 of the crew guys, and everybody's telling stories. We're making fun of the new guys. Tony Raines, his first ever race as a spotter, he may as well just drop the mic and walk away. It's really a tremendous victory, and for everybody at SHR, they keep coming up to me. It's a big trophy for the shop to have, and I'm happy to help deliver that.
Now, you know, drivers, their paint jobs, their own personality, but they're also very expensive, and they try to amortize it out over a few races. He had a brand new one at Daytona, but I think that's going to be okay. You don't have to worry about amortizing that one out. That one's priceless.
One and done. Crew Chief Tony Gibson. First Daytona 500 win as a crew chief for the 53-year-old from Daytona Beach. And Kurt Busch ascends the throne of Daytona 500 champion. I wonder where that throne went.